So, hi, it is a frigid 25 degrees here in the Dallas Metroplex area. I am enjoying being at home. And yes, even in my bed. Sorry, but I'm enjoying it. But today we're going to talk about, still talking about love, still, about to wrap up that month and get it all in. Today is love requires, let's say, everyone knowing their place, their position, their role. This one encompasses a couple of things, and it was birthed from a reminder of a comment that I had gotten from a male. We're talking relationships, love, that I had gotten from a male probably within the last year. And this is what this gentleman told me. And he said, as ladies, as women, it's gotten to the point where you guys don't like to be chased. You guys don't like to be approached. And it's almost insulting to the point of it's a turnoff for most of us men, as he was saying, that, basically, how dare you not let us chase you? And if we don't have to chase you, why should we put in the work? And why should we go the extra mile? And I thought, interesting. I didn't quite get it at the time. Actually, to be honest, I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. He went on to say that as women, we have gotten to the point also of where we're begging for our man, a man's time. Spend time with me. Let's hang out. Let's do this. Let's do that. And he said, once again, you're out of your lane. You're out of your territory. If a man wants to spend time with you, believe me, he'll make the time. He'll call you up. He'll present those dates and present the options to spend time with you. Another interesting thought. Didn't quite get it. Didn't quite understand at the time. Because I'm thinking in a age of independence, as us women love to say, that we feel like it's okay. If we see someone out, we like them, we'll approach them. We'll give them our number. I'll give you a call. I'll present a date for us to go out. And we've kind of gotten to the part or to the point in life where it's become the norm. But because something becomes the norm, does it really make it right? I say all of this to say this. Many things, actually, to say many things that I'm about to say. He was right. Didn't get it then, definitely understand it now. We all have a role to play in relationships. And love requires order. It requires everyone playing their role and staying in their lane. We're living in a time where we are all out of order. Everyone, men, women, children, you name it, just out of order. Everybody is trying to jump over into someone else's lane. And especially so in relationships. In relationships, it is true, not all the time, but women, we are chasing men. We are. We're chasing them down. We're begging for their time. We're begging, pleading, borrowing. That's not our role. That's not our place. And I know there's a lot of independent women out there who say, well, if I want it, I can get it, go after it. I get that. We are independent and we should go after things that we want, but we should never be in the role of chasing down a man, ever. That's just not our role. Now, with that being said, this Sunday, confirmation when I finally understood what this gentleman was telling me, almost a couple months, a year ago, whatever, confirmation this past Sunday at church, sitting down, ministers talking, and he says, let's go to the scripture. And we were talking about, basically women submitting to their husbands. And then also the scripture that made mention of men loving their wives as God loved the church. And the minister said, look, ladies, look, gentlemen, we have to get back in our lanes. We have to get back in our roles. And he was basically saying the scripture that states, women, you ought to submit to your wives. That scripture is for us, meaning us women. That's us. We are supposed to submit to our spouses. But the scripture that's meant for the men, his scripture is, love your wife as God loved the church and gave his life for it. Now, if I'm spending my time learning to submit to my husband, and I'm with a mate who is also a believer in God and spending his time doing what his scripture calls him to do, which is to love his wife, love his spouse as God loved the church, then everybody's in their lane, everybody's needs are getting met, and everybody's too busy to be worried about the other person's job. I was like, now that's a breakdown I can understand. And it goes back to, ladies, as a single woman who's been there and done that, I've done every different variation, and I'm sure anybody can tell me at least most of it. I ain't crazy, but I've probably been in various situations. Let's get back in our lane. Let's really get back in our lane. We don't have to pound on doors. We don't have to chase, beg, borrow, steal for a man's attention, nor his time. That is for him to give. Let him give that up to you. When you know your value as a woman, then you know you have a lot to offer. And if that gentleman that you are interested in, that you like, is not giving it to you freely, it's not meant for you. And it's better to find that out in the beginning than it is in the end, after you've invested your time and your emotions. And see, that's the problem. That's when we as women fall short, because once we're invested, then we don't know how to get out. So we definitely put up with crap that we shouldn't. On the flip side, men, you've got to step up to the plate. It is your job to go out there, because the scripture does say, he who findeth a wife findeth a good thing and also gains favor. So it is your job to go out and find, just as it is a woman's job to be findable, to be open to love, to be open to your approach. So we both have a role to play. We both have something that we have to do to make this relationship, this love thing work. But we've got to get back in our lanes. Women, sit back and get approached. Men, jump up, get out there. If you see someone that you're interested in, make the first move. It's not my job to do that anymore. Just like it's not your job to be submitting. That's not what God asked you to do. He asked you to love me as God loved the church and gave his life for it. Let's all understand our role. Let's get back in place. Let's get this thing back on track. This love thing is really not as hard as we're making it seem. We've just got to believe that God's plan is the best plan. And love requires us to stay in our lane, know our roles, and walk in our mission, that which God has given us to do. Anyway, that was a mouthful today, but I learned a lot. It is a lesson learned, and getting back in my lane. I'm understanding my value. I'm understanding as a woman that which, no matter how independent, no matter how much I make, no matter where I live, what I do, I still have a role to play. And my role is not to chase, not to run after. And neither is it for you women out there. Anyway, have a great day. Bye.